I got this watch for a battery change, but it's a mechanical watch, doesn't have a battery, and I'll show you the inside in a second. But putting it on the time grapher machine with 12 o'clock up, it is pretty close to right on because it just said +6. Now it's -3, -4. So that's pretty good. And then you can rotate it, put it on its side. That probably won't change much, still -4. Looking at the that number right there, +8 seconds per day. That's seconds per day. And then put it on its back. That usually changes it more than most things. See what that does. You can see the trajectory change. If those are flat, if those dots are flat, those are the ticks. That means it's right on, and they're going down. So that means, I guess, -2 seconds per day. That's very good. -12 seconds per day. It's not as good, but as you can see, it changes even when you just rotate it. And it's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be perfect in every position, but it's a mechanical watch, so there's a lot going on in there. Let's see. Put it on its front, I guess. Light. So now, see how it does like that. Facing down. Maybe you have it on your desk. -3 seconds per day. It's doing well. So it doesn't need a battery change, just need wound up. And it's an automatic, so it's got a winding weight inside of it. Okay, this is the inside of that same watch. And as you can see, it's a mechanical watch. You can also see that it's an automatic, which means that it's self-winding. And you can tell that by the presence of this weight on it. It's called the rotor. It's in the center. So I'm going to hold the microphone up to it, and you can hear it click, and that's the sound of it winding. Well, that you should hear it tick. I don't know if that microphone's going to work to hear it tick, but tick, 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 tick. That's something like what that sounds like, but then you're going to hear it click when I move this. Did it twice, so I don't know if you can hear that, but that's the sound of the watch winding. And then the balance wheel is that pendulum looking, I mean, it doesn't look like a pendulum, but that's what it acts as, is a pendulum. And I'm going to zoom in on that because we're 4K here, and I want to see this thing up close. I watched one of my own videos, and it looked pretty cool how on 4K. We just got a 4K TV. I watched it. It was pretty cool. So now you can see the balance. Pretty bright. Camera's adjusting. Okay. Use this hand. All right. So now what you see is the... Oh, here, I'll try to get the spring in. And focus there. All right. So you can see the balance wheel there. This is the end of a toothpick, so that's how big that is. So obviously the hairspring is much smaller than a toothpick, and right there you can see it. That's the hairspring. It's called, they call it breathing. The hairspring is breathing there, and that hairspring is coaxial with the balance wheel, and the balance wheel rotates a little over a half a turn one direction, then a little over half a turn the other direction, and that's called the amplitude. And the amplitude on this one, I think, was 230 degrees, so it goes a little over half. 180 degrees would be half of a turn. And this spring here that is going out and in, that's it. That's what the balance wheel turns against, and it goes to one extreme then the other extreme. And you adjust that hairspring in some cases to adjust how the watch keeps time. And you can see the balance wheel stop here and there. So yeah, you can see these other gears turning. So yeah, now you can see we're looking at the escape wheel, and with that, and you can see the pallet fork. See that ticking back and forth? That piece right there that's going back and forth, that's getting there's a stone on the balance wheel, on the center of the balance wheel, that as it passes through, moves that pallet fork, and then the pallet fork has teeth on it that allow the escape wheel, has stones on it that allow the escape wheel to turn a little bit at a time. So it's really a wind-up toy that unwinds at a very specific rate, and this is the mechanism that allows that to happen. And so you see the escape wheel turning as the pallet fork goes back and forth, tick, 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 like that. And then the next wheel is called I think it's the fourth wheel. Second wheel? No, it's the fourth wheel. So, yeah, it's called the fourth wheel, because then you have the fourth wheel and the third wheel and the center wheel, and they each turn progressively slower. And you can see that one turning. So the escape wheel pinion, which is right here behind that bearing right there, is turning the fourth wheel gear, which is right here. So that's what you're looking, and then that turns the third wheel, that turns the center wheel, and then the center wheel directly turns the minute hand. So the minute hand goes 1 rotation per hour, as you know from just knowing what a watch is. My hand blocks the light, but I just want to show different parts of the watch up close. I don't know which wheel that is off the top of my head, but one of them. I'm interested to watch this one just because you could see it in 4K. I had never seen these in 4K. Really full 4K. So anyway, that's the interesting part. Is to watch that tick. Watch that hairspring go. From the balance wheel, which is really a pendulum, to the pallet fork, to the escape wheel, to the fourth wheel, and then on to the train wheels, and move the hands on the watch. That's it. There's the crown. Give you an idea of the scale here. Where's focus there? There's the crown of the watch. One of the buttons. So yeah, you can see we're very, very zoomed in on this. So yeah, the button. This part of the button is in the case, and then that pushes. It has to push out to push something in the movement, as you can see right there. So it doesn't even engage with the movement until it travels pretty far. So that's how the button works. That button. There you go. Now I want to see how this microphone works on the balance wheel. Can you hear it tick? That's the question. If I stop talking, you can.